Well, this is it. After 2 weeks and 16 players entering, only 2 remain to play in the grand final today of Roulette Raceway. Welcome everyone, and hello. And already the title is misleading because my co-casters today will join in a moment. But for now, I have the admin of the match, Currymaker, here. Hello.
Hello, thanks for having me. Welcome everyone in chat.
And yeah, this should be a really great one between two of the best roulette players, if not the two best roulette players of the community of Hitman.
Yes, definitely. Yannini, currently the reigning champion of Roulette Rivals 4. But on the other side, Frote also a great player for sure. Has founded the community that we currently play in, and yeah, it's definitely a great player, one to be feared.
Yeah, the two of them have 5 Roulette Rivals titles between the two of them. Frote won Roulette Rivals 1, 2, and 3 on PC, and Yannini won 3 on console and 4 on PC. Not to mention their great runs in the World Cup. So it's really not a surprise that they made it to the final here today.
Yes, both also fought other great players along the tournament. From the 16 players entering.
Yeah, I can already show you the brackets, not a comment this time, but at least a picture, so that we can look at it today. So Frote's road to the final began against Rommel with a 6-2 victory, and a really convincing one against Pijero as well, another 6-2, before facing Ducker in the semifinals, which was anything but a smooth sailing, but coming from 1-5 behind, he won 3 straight maps to win in an incredible 7-5 decider to make it to the final.
Yeah, first it was even 0-4. He was 0-4 down, then tied on Mumbai, I think it was one of his map choices. But then ended up winning all of Ducker's map choices afterwards. So that's definitely an impressive act that he has completed.
Yeah, I think I remember the Thursday night semifinal when Ducker was 2 maps up, and all he had to do was kill Vanya in Mumbai. He had a really good run, and there was like a briefcase standing there which interrupted Vanya and ruined the run, and he couldn't recover in the next 15 minutes, so it was a tie. And yeah, it was followed by 6 points from Frote for an incredible comeback. Yeah, Chris, whenever you're ready, you can also join. He doesn't have the call available on his end. Interesting. He can't just join.
Right. I think I can do something like this. Should get called now.
Yeah, I think he was invited now. Yeah, Ducker, you really played well all throughout the tournament as well, and it came right down to the wire against Frote. Chris is having some tech issues, but he'll be joining us in a moment.
What would be a roulette cast without technical issues?
Yeah, always. We gotta have 2 or 3 at least. From different people, different kinds of issues, always.
Yeah.
But yeah, Yannini, on the other hand, also began with a 6-2 win, although you can see that it started in an unconventional manner, losing the random pick in Dartmoor against Fopper. And then he won 3 straight maps, all in Season 1 apparently, to win his first match. And then the one against I Like Hitman went to 5 maps. And the interesting thing about was that I Like Hitman had the last map choice, so he was the favorite going into the decider, or the sort of decider. But Yannini turned it around to make it to the semifinals. And welcome, Chris.
Hello.
All right, glad to hear you made it after Discord not being cooperative today.
Yeah, as Pajero said, bit of a boomer, I guess, but
yeah, you never know with this one, with this application.
Let's see. Frote is not live on my end right now. Is that the case?
I haven't even
he
looked
isn't
at
live
them.
for me either. But I'm sure he'll go live in a few.
Yeah, plenty of time still.
Yes.
And the timer has appeared on my end, so just 4.5 minutes and you will see as well. And yeah, just to finish Yannini's road to the final, it's a bit awkward now that Chris is here, but yeah, the semifinal was against Chris, and it also went to 5 maps, another really great back and forth match. And
okay, we just had to go there, didn't we?
well, you had to join at the right time. Like, I was just about to talk about the semifinal. But yeah, really great tournament, Chris.
Yeah, I did win Whittleton, so I'm doing good right now with this map pick.
Yeah, it should be really interesting in Roulette Rivals 5, when we also have picks, and the registration will begin tomorrow.
Yes, this tournament, of course, great preparation for Roulette Rivals 5. Of course, we only have 16 players here, where in R5, I'm sure we're going to have more than that. But yeah, RR5 so. Definitely to a tournament also to be on the lookout for.
Sadly, we'll only be able to pick Haven Island twice in that tournament, but there are some other fantastic maps that you'll be able to choose as well.
And I believe the timers in those tournaments are longer. I think 60 minutes was the case in Roulette Rivals 4, so twice the time, yes. Twice the pain in these longer maps.
True.
Also for RR5, we're going to see updated spin conditions, which is an issue a lot of people, I think, have addressed in the past. So, yeah, for RR5, the spin conditions for the maps and everything are going to be looked over once again, and maybe some stuff is going to get banned or re-implemented, depending on the decisions of the admins.
Really curious about this one, yeah.
Maybe we'll see a Nolan Cassidy consumed poison here, anybody?
Always a fun one, whether it's legal or not. When you just have to rush from the server position to your disguise. Hopefully that's not the case today.
I'm not gonna spoil anything. You'll have to wait another 2 minutes until
you
can find that out for yourself.
Interesting. So I think I'm finally getting some game sound from Frote, unless that's the stream echoing, but let's just trust him for a moment.
I'm getting some from Frote here.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, Frote has some in-game sound right now.
Well, less than a minute and a half to go. We made it here after 2 weeks and 14 matches.
Yes, also a quick rule change for the grand finals is this is first to 8 points, so no longer first to 6 points. You need 8 now. You get 2 per map win, and each player gets 1 point per map tie.
Really, yes, really good point. I forgot to tell it, and I was scared for a moment that you talked about the rule change. Like, what did you plan? I was away, but Nope, that was the case all along, that we will not play until they get 6 points,
would be
but
pretty
instead
amazing.
8.
Which now means that when Frote and Yannini inevitably tie on 7 maps, we can actually have a maximum of 8 maps played here.
Yeah, that would be closing in on 4 hours of roulette. Of course, if they play down to the last second every time, it would be surprising, but of course it depends on the spins, the first of which we get in 10 seconds. Curry, do you feel like running around the first spin of the night or the final?
I guess I can do that. So, for the first spin, for the first map, we have to kill Janus with a silenced SMG as the server, and Nolan Cassidy using the scissors as the Cassidy's bodyguard.
Should be quick and easy for starters.
I believe there's only 1 scissors on the map. Is that the case?
Yes, so it's in Helen West's home. It's one of her bedrooms. Like you have to infiltrate through the pipe or just go upstairs one way or another.
So, other than that, I would say it'll be pretty easy here to take out Janus from the start, the server start, and then get to Cassidy for the kill after having gotten all 3 of the clues.
And you don't even need the disguise for Cassidy, because when you get to him in the garage, he's followed by, of course, Cassidy bodyguard.
Yeah, both players starting off in the server start. Makes sense though, you have like easy access to the map and got already one of your disguises ready.
And Frote goes through Janus garden and kind of the roof to isolate Janus. Target lockdown triggered, but no one hears, and that's the first kill down in 35 seconds.
I don't think I've ever seen that one before, but definitely pretty useful. You don't have to wait for them to respond to the gramophone like you're gonna have on Yannini's end.
Yeah, Yannini will be a bit behind, but of course, interested to see when will they isolate Cassidy. Do they have anything smarter than the garage isolation at the 4-minute mark?
We've got this annoying guard here at the bottom of the stairs for Frote, and maybe gonna track him like I usually do, but maybe not.
Yeah, it has to be precise, but he makes it nicely. With the silenced weapon, the evidence can also be deleted. There's the kill for Yannini.
Like Frote's headed over to grab the scissors from Helen's house, and Yannini's gonna go grab that same picture for the first of the 3 clues.
Yes, I've just looked it up. There is in fact only 1 scissors on the map, and that's exactly where Frote is right now. Those are the only scissors on Whittleton Creek. I mean, scissors not an item that usually everyone has in some sort. Nah, that's really rare.
Yeah, Whittleton Creek has a lot of one-off items.
There's
2 of
scissors
which...
and a letter opener that I think are only in there. I'm not sure about any others, but...
Luckily we ban in roulette, but there's the battle axe and the Viking axe or old axe, which is possible to spawn on the map by an Easter egg, but ain't nobody got the time for that.
Yeah, I would imagine somebody looking up a Mr. Freeze video on how to get the battle axe in the middle of one of their matches.
Mm-hmm. Would be a bit much. 2.5 minutes gone for Frote, and he has plenty of time to get the second and third clues.
Yeah, Yannini a bit confused where the scissors are. He is in the right house. He just needs to find the correct room here.
And he picks it up now.
Importantly, does trigger the fish there, which is a special Easter egg that'll be required for him to finish the map here.
Yep. The secret conditions in the final include triggering the fish.
part of the we're including those Coddy roulette special conditions here.
Right.
In the meantime, Frote has picked up all 2 remaining clues. He got the lawsuit and the cigar box. And now all he has left to do is kill Cassidy, and then he's out.
James Betty Body found, however. So that's going to be a rip. The garbage man can find him in from certain angles, and Frote had the upper hand in Whittleton Creek, but now he has to restart, and this is Yannini's to lose now.
I was a bit interested there in what he had done a thrown lure to distract the exterminator there at the end instead of just standing and waiting for Cassidy to go in the garage. So I was a little bit curious as to where he was going to go with that one.
Yeah, me too. Because I guess the best case scenario would have been to just wait for Nolan and not to trigger his proxy conversation on the phone. But I've seen some peekaboos from the garage as well. You don't need to do anything with the exterminator for that. And perfect timing for Yannini for the Nolan isolation in the garage.
In the meantime, he already also picked up the other clues as well, same as with Frote. But unfortunately, Frote had to restart, while Yannini now pops the disguise here and should get his second kill down.
And he does. Will he close the door? No, just run to the exit, thinking this is really close, but this would have been close.
You have a little bit of time. That one runner is consistent in her cycle, so as long as you can just run straight to the exit, you're usually fine.
And that's gonna be the case here, and Yannini takes the first map of the grand final.
Maybe we'll get to see Frote play out his strategy here, but that was a bit of a dumb way to end up losing that match there. It wasn't really...
That was a dumb mistake.
I would say a mistake on his end. I mean, maybe you could call it that, but it was just a bit of a unfortunate positioning with that view cone there.
Yeah, I guess the safest is to just not do anything with Betty and just throw and distract him, but he has a weird cycle and just never know when he's going to be an issue.
It's like you're either playing it safe by knocking him out or you're playing it safe by leaving him up.
Yeah, you can't win.
And that means with the Yannini win there, Frote's going to get to pick the next map, and he's not going to be able to choose Whittleton, obviously, which we just played, Chongqing, Hokkaido, Bangkok, or Miami. I believe
Mumbai.
Chongqing and Hokkaido.
Mumbai is the last one. So I think
I'm a little bit illiterate, but you are right. It is Mumbai.
I believe Chongqing was... Well, we'll get to that later. Breaking news is that Frote picks the first Center Fortuna of the tournament.
Yannini not too happy with that one, it seems.
Well, at least we get Center Fortuna in the tournament at all, because it has not been picked yet.
Yep, and this will be the only Santa Fortuna of the tourney, as it was really consistently banned in round 1 and never picked.
That means that we've seen every map now, doesn't it?
Yep.
Yes. Even Haven.
We had to wait until Frote v Tucker for the first Haven and Mumbai, and today until the first Center Fortuna, but then everything else was picked at least once.
Was my match the only Miami that we had in this tournament? Or Miami, oh my gosh, the only Paris that we had in this tournament?
I feel like it was RNG more than once, but let me just quickly see. Frote v Tucker
versus Tucker had one Paris at the start again, yes.
And for fun, the stats master.
No one has picked Paris though. Possibility here, and Frote is a veteran of Paris, so let's not count it out.
Santa Fortuna in 2.5 minutes with Yannini picking maybe 2 of his annoying maps that he knew that Frote would be good at in Bangkok and Mumbai. With only 2 bans, he's sort of stuck with playing this one here.
And I think as a response, kind of, Frote did the same with Hokkaido, which is a really good map for Yannini. And interestingly, Chongqing was Frote's other ban, which is consistent throughout all 4 rounds.
Yeah, I've heard him say a couple times that Chongqing is just his worst map in the trilogy, obviously with H3 being the new game. And he just figured it would be better off to ban it and get some more practice in on the other maps.
Yeah, still a very vast map pool, 14 after the 4 bans. So yeah, just a bit of clarification that in the title it said that Chris and Random are co-casting, and I haven't changed that, but Randy will join us after his dinner, and the admin of the match is Curry, who is joining us until then.
I do be a bit of random, right? Sometimes, like in that sentence, for example.
I mean, why not make you a permanent part of the title? Sounds good to me, and thank you for all your adminning and contribution throughout this tournament.
Yeah, I'm glad I was allowed to do some of that, and glad I could help.
Always appreciated. Well, Santa Fortuna for the first and only time.
Yeah, what are we thinking for a spin here? We got 35 seconds.
It's going to be a very long one, even if these line up perfectly. So interested to see if a loud or live kill will spice things up even more.
That is true, especially in roulette when you've got possibility of cross map disguises. There's even more running on this map than there usually is.
Yeah, requires a lot of creativity here to chain these 3 together, and I think it's your turn, Chris, to run this one down.
All right, we're gonna have Rico Delgado, the next snap, as Mansion staff. Jorge Delgado with the folding knife as the elite guard, and for Andrea Martinez, we're gonna have a fall as the band member. So not too far for these disguises. In fact, if you want to start Mansion staff, you can go for Rico right away.
That is a really big advantage, I feel. Because
Jorge Delgado.
yeah, you did. It's all right. Sounds good.
Y'all, it's too early for this. I just can't. Feel free to laugh at me in the chat, though. I earned it. But Jorge with the folding knife. The only folding knife is the one in town. Is that correct?
And there's like an armory near the compound, I believe. And that should be the only folding knife, unless I'm missing it with something else.
So then if you are going to be starting Mansion staff for Rico immediately, you're going to have to run back and then come back to the Coca Fields for Jorge. I'm not too sure the timing on his cycles. I know obviously he's pretty RNG, but how consistently you'd be able to get back for that if you were going to.
He's notoriously RNG, yeah. But Frote goes for the Mansion staff start, which really has to be the start for this map, because this makes it a 2-target mission, essentially. And Yannini is a bit behind. But
Are you going for the lure into the garage here that I've seen a couple of people do? Pretty easy one.
And the well-timed throw will only be heard by Delgado. There's the isolation, quick neck snap and hide before the Mansion guard arrives, but will not be an issue here. Should see the same from Yannini in about 20 seconds.
We'll have to see, or both of them choose to go from here. Looks like Frote's going to open up the secret passage.
might be thinking about getting an elite guard through the tunnel.
Yeah, I would say that's probably it. You're not going to need necessarily any of the weapons that are down here for the kills.
Yep, really generous Center for Generous win actually.
I also just confirmed the only folding knife on the map is in fact in the armory in the village. As long as I didn't miss one on my half screen hit maps, but I think I didn't.
Yep, should be
Alright.
unique.
Just like that, he's going to trank one of those elite guards and knock out the other. Shouldn't have any body found there, as he does a bit of a triple backflip for Frote.
Yeah, 10 out of 10 flip.
And then he's going to go up through the bar here and presumably go for the folding knife or Andrea. He's got the breaching charge in hand.
So the direction he's going towards is the armory first. I wonder what's Andrea's timing, but maybe you want to go for the targets first. But Frote is confident.
Yannini's going to head out through the front gates of the mansion, tries to avoid the camera, but gets hit anyways. And he's going to be probably doing the same thing, just without that elite guard.
Frote picks up the folding knife, doesn't use the key, which Meme talked about earlier. That there's a key not far away, but of course it takes a bit of time. And Frote actually gives up on Andrea completely. He'll just get to her at another time after Jorge.
I think from what I've seen of Santa Fortuna, there's a good shot that he will be able to get to Jorge either before or as he's getting into that little hut.
So I feel like it's the 6 minutes that everyone talks about when Jorge is in position for the first time after the start, which would be, I guess, his second cycle. And he will have plenty of time to get there. He's not trespassing anymore. Just a few enforcers to watch out for and the evidence he can take out.
And
Ooh, Yannini.
Is the door closed? Oh.
The door was open. But the guard didn't care. Wow.
Worst guard on the map.
How close was that? Well, Yannini gets away with literal murder in the Andrea compound, and he definitely has a huge lead now.
And, although Andrea for sure drowned there, that is a fall kill. And Frote is going to be headed back down through the submarine area, the underground area for Jorge.
Oh, Yannini lockpicks open this door. Kind of risky, considering all the people around, but gets away with that one as well. Just looking for the other equipment. Basically shopping in this room.
Picks up a bit of everything there.
Expanding his collection. Yeah, I'd say with no mistakes, then this is going to be a pretty huge lead for Yannini. He'll have plenty of time to grab that elite guard disguise and then just sit, wait for Jorge, escape helicopter.
Frote is in position with the disguise and knocking out the helicopter pilot, which isn't a disguise in Hitman, or at least in this map. So he will just get him in the hut, probably with a coin distraction or any throne distraction.
And like Yannini makes one of those elite guards guarding the cave entrance sick, and he's going to be luring the other one over here. Someone will knock him out for his disguise. And then once he goes down through there, be able to take down the evidence as well.
Probably still want to go for Jorge first, while you have the disguise, and try to make the timing. But he has still the evidence to take care of for Yannini. Franco will arrive at the hut just under 6 minutes. just going to sneak in from behind and throw an item next to the box, probably.
He's considering. Okay, just throws a coin there. Gets spotted, however. Needs to be quick about this now.
Yep, Jorge doesn't get a chance to yell there. And just gonna drag him to the box.
And no one sees him through the window, so that's a nice one for Frote, and he's also 2 kills down. Yannini hasn't made any progress because, unfortunately for him, he made the other guard sick, the one who has the key card, because the key card is needed to enter the caves, and yeah, he's losing valuable time here.
I believe, though, he should have another seeker shot, though. So if he wants to make Jorge sick, he'll be able to do that if he is missing the cycle here.
Yeah, so at least he's not timing dependent anymore.
Jorge will run along and isolate himself at one of the porta potties because his guards are not good at their job.
But a pause for Yannini. His run. So his run isn't over, and I'm pretty sure he picked up the key card unless he's looking for one. Yep, key card obtained. Got caught by a camera again, just whooshing him a little. Interesting.
It seems like there's a massive delay on cameras after you perform an illegal action when they can still spot you.
Yeah, that was the case here, and Yannini looking up in the map at where he is actually.
Because I have no idea how to navigate through these underground caves.
The caves can sometimes be a bit confusing with like 5 entrances and leading into 3 different like hallways.
This map and Mumbai, it feels like, are designed for you to never learn where anything is.
Big moment for Frote as he's trying to disguise himself as a band member. In my experience, the band member is a unique disguise only taken by the sleeping or dead band drummer.
This actually learned, I think, in Memes Roulette tournament. I think there was a band member disguise, and I was just playing along with the stream, and the ones with the blue handkerchiefs are not a disguise, only the one with the red that's sleeping, yeah, as you said.
And Frote just found that out. He tried to disguise himself as that band member, but yeah, there was no prompt. He can't take that disguise.
Luckily for him, the other disguise requires no dart guns, so it's just a little setback time-wise.
It's interesting to see now, after he's got this disguise, assuming he is good on Drea timing, he's going to be finishing pretty close to when Yannini will be. Thanks to the little setback on getting that elite guard.
Yeah, it's so hard to call at the moment, because Yannick still cannot make Jorge sick, because he would go to the wrong bathroom or porta potty.
It does look like on Frote's screen, though, on that mini-map, Andrea is in the middle of the town right now.
That's going to be another few minutes for him. Could be the deciding factor. And as Meme says, and thank you for all this Santa Fortuna inside, it doesn't really matter where you make Jorge sick, because just distract the elite guards or the Coca Field guards and you can still make the kill.
It looks like he's trying to set up the hut, though.
Oh, it's going to be another few minutes for him as well. Well, both of them will be waiting then.
Both players really close to one another now, both only needing 1 kill, but unfortunately have a bit of a waiting period ahead of them.
This is your Roulette Raceway Grand Finals. We're going to have both players sitting around for a few minutes here in classic HITMAN style.
Yeah, both of them feel like that this is their shot and they will get the win if they don't restart, and they will really try to avoid that. Yannini heads out now and with the dart gun in his hand.
Oh,
And
our
hello.
fourth cast.
Yep, welcome Randy.
Hello.
Well, Random is somewhere in the universe right now.
I
Maybe
am
not
mid
that
somewhere.
hallway. Where he is.
There he is.
Yes.
All right,
Then
well,
I'm gonna give you my spot and leave here. Good luck on the cast, guys.
Thank you, good luck adminning. And
Thank
this is going to be really close. The third kills will be done at the exact same time almost.
Yep, we've got Jorge runs to the. Oh, actually, at the exact same time for me, but Yannini's gonna have the advantage of having the exit right next to him, and I think that's gonna be him taking the map.
Incredible, yeah. After all this waiting, got the kills at the same time, and Yannini's exit is closer, and his in-game time will be better as well.
That
That's
is
gonna
some good timing.
be unfortunate for Frote. And in an RR5 match, that one would have been a photo finish.
Oh, and-
Imagine having those.
Would have been a win for Yannini for sure either way, but
And I wonder if I
he
mean
says lol.
this may frustrate him a little because this was maybe the closest Santa Fortuna match ever. But yeah, they were separated by 20 seconds or so.
Yannini overall did have the faster stride, just got cut up a little bit in the middle there. Having that seeker definitely gave him a win at the end.
Yeah, if he didn't go for the seeker, then he would have definitely lost it to Frote.
We've got Random in the call now that maybe has no idea what we're talking about.
Yeah, basically.
We'll be moving on to a second map pick from Yannini here with the 4-0 lead, or from Frote, that is.
Ooh. I'm just sitting here letting you talk about the previous round, waiting for the next one to start so I can actually say something of value.
Frote saying he figured Yannini would end up with a restart, but I believe that was the first attempt for both of them that they finished.
Yep, and Frote really took his time, and I think we don't see it now, but I think Yannini's 10:55 is lining up against the mid 11 minute strat from Frote. So yeah, Yannini had it.
Well, wondering what Frote's gonna end up picking here. Maybe a Sapienza, but I mean that is a strong map for Yannini as well. I mean, I guess there's not really any other than Haven, maybe, that you wouldn't be too great at this point.
It's really hard between them. They feel best, I guess. Where do they have an advantage against the other?
Wait, 2 minutes.
So the final is first to 8 points, yeah? So Yannini does not have a match point just yet. This will be another Frote pick to get to 4-2, hopefully for him. We still haven't heard his next map choice.
He was the comeback king in Frote versus Ducker, so even another map for Yannini, we could see that happen again.
Yeah, the only way he could stop Thursday's excitement is if he came back from 06. But yeah, 04, he did come back from it to win 7-5.
Not exactly hoping for that, but
I tricked you all. I'm not actually here. We have the start, so I'll be gone again.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, be right back.
Right back, all right.
well, someone points out in the Discord chat that band member from Frote, I think, actually could have been what would determine the match there, going for the wrong band member. But I understand why you would. That would be the same disguise. The only reason it's not is because it's part of the mission story to have the rest of them there. But
yeah, you need the whole band together. So next map is Marrakesh. Frote has told us that much, and he's asking for the 8-minute break, which he should be able to get. So we'll have a bit more time to talk about.
Well, Coach will have the Pentacast as soon as you join the call.
Yeah, which is...
As Pitch says as well.
We're
going to have 9 minutes here to the spin. We're just going to be taking a bit of a break. So,
and think about this band member, and I feel like no matter what happened, Frote was waiting for Andrea to come back, and he peekabooed Andrea as soon as possible. So funnily enough, the wrong band member didn't cost him any time. But yeah, that was unfortunate for him.
Yeah, her cycle, I would say, is definitely one of the worst in the game. I mean, when she's in the house, she's completely free, and then as soon as she leaves the house, as far as I know, there's no way to get her at all when she's in the town. But I could be wrong on that.
I don't know of any. And yeah, her route is just go to the square and through the streets. I'm trying to think, but no.
I don't think you seek her to anywhere. There's nowhere you could really peekaboo her.
Yeah, and in comparison, in her compound, there are 2 great positions, about 1.5 minutes each other, like the upstairs peekaboo and the downstairs double KO in the conference room.
Do have to worry about upstairs with the loud frontal noise on the kills that you don't end up getting her found. I believe we saw some of that in a previous tournament, but
yeah, that's a really annoying last obstacle. After a long spin, you can still rip to that one.
Let's see, Marrakesh, I believe we did see in Frote versus Ducker, because we had that rip from Frote that I'm not entirely sure if that was glass walls or if that was the guards being telepathic, but
yeah, that was a really unfortunate and annoying way to rip by, I guess, the slow servers and the weird suspicion and panic spreading through the school. Frote did have Marrakesh done, basically, but still got into combat after the accident kill, for which reason he had to restart, and Ducker won that map, which is how Ducker got the 4-0 lead in the first place.
You can never trust a propane unless you have a micro remote EMP sitting right next to it, in my experience.
Yeah, you're a good one. Always good to do it remotely. The other Marrakeshis happened in round 2, which was played by Ducker and Phenium. Phenium also played in round 1. There was Chaos versus Mikolar's Marrakesh, and most importantly, a Fopper versus Yannini Marrakesh from round 1, which was won by Yannini, despite it being Fopper's pick. So both of them are good at Marrakesh. I think they are good at all 18 maps.
If only there was someone that could keep track of what that spin was, so if we could look at. If only there was someone.
Oh man,
that tracks the statistics of these matches.
Just so much more work when I have other things to do.
No, I'm just messing with you, but
now always would be great.
I don't remember what that spin was, but I do remember the coat spin that we had on Marrakesh with the End boss, Headmaster's son. That was a great match.
Oh my god, yeah. That took them a long time because of that one single NPC. And yeah, Curry, we were talking about the Fopper versus Yannini from round 1. But, you know, it may have been the most boring marker spin ever, which just happened in the past and may be relevant.
Marrakesh pick from Fopper with Yannini winning it. I'm trying to think, but I don't remember. We've had quite a few Marrakesh spins in this tournament.
Yep, Marrakesh is a quite popular pick. Pressure is rising on Frote a little, because if he were to lose this one, then Yannini would have a 6-point lead, and Frote is a really amazing player, and he has shown incredible mental strength, but coming from 6 points behind, it would be an enormous task for him.
Yeah, you really do need the mental strength when you're playing this game competitively, especially in a live setting.
Oh yeah, like roulette as a general thought, it's just about trying to be safe, not go for riskier stuff, and then the game comes and says that we think that this strategy is risky because this wall doesn't exist, and this panic will spread.
World don't exist.
Looking at you, Haven.
Purple Key in chat asked, how do you isolate the 2 targets? I'm not sure if you're memeing or not, but for Klaus at 2.5 minutes and I believe 7.5 minutes, he'll come up on the balcony that overlooks the interview room that has the moose in it. And then if you take out one of the guards, you can chain lure him to that room for a free kill. And then Reza, you have the intercom. He'll come yell at the 2 guards that are talking trash about him, and you can get him in that bathroom.
Very well said. And
Notably,
to me, that's
that bathroom is not a bathroom, so you can't drown Reza in the school. But
no, the closest water source is kilometers away. Feels like it's really a dry place.
You can also, if you're feeling really risky, you can shoot Klaus while he's looking out at the protesters, and a few minutes after that, he will be down in the school area, and you can get him in the side of the courtyard. I've seen that a few times, but
it's
you have to get good timing.
It's a strat which is really liked by Frote in particular. So with the right disguises, you may see him do that, which means he doesn't have to. Sorry, go for it.
We don't even have 3 people yet, and we're already struggling. But yeah, if you have a kill where Reza first is the much easier option, then yeah, I would go for that.
Yeah, it depends a lot on those disguises and how easy or hard it gets to reach Klaus in 2.5 minutes, and yeah, what kind of kill he has.
It usually depends on that, doesn't it?
I would say so, yes. Welcome back.
We got a minute to spin.
Like, no matter the map. Also, thanks, Frote, for giving me 8 minutes to...
Oh, I think I see now. So it was just because of you. Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't
of
see it from his message, but makes sense now.
It was all a lie.
In chat talking about the fortune teller disguise. Flashbacks to the Stadium Ducker match. Marrakesh has really been the wild card map in this tournament, I would say. The game just not having a good time.
Yeah.
No.
The unique disguises make it really spicy. Let's see if we get any of these here in Marrakesh. Randy, do you want to run it down?
Yeah, we have Reza Sedan, Cleaver as the cameraman, and Klaus Strandberg with the letter opener, not as it, as the food vendor.
So everyone's favorite Marrakesh disguise, the food vendor, which has somehow become harder than fortune teller or cameraman, which we also have here.
Yeah, for this, probably food vendor is the only reasonable start, especially that it's the Klaus disguise, and wonder if they will care about the cameraman in the first minute or just get the first kill.
Well, it looks like Frote puts his seeker at the janitor start. So maybe not looking to go for the cameraman immediately.
He's looking to get spotted by this other food vendor, which is really annoying to avoid, and you cannot blend in the crowd against that.
I think it's like 140 or 150. You have to start jumping over the wall at the consulate to get to Klaus on time. And I would say from food vendor start, you would be really tight to try and get that cameraman disguise immediately before coming over here.
As we can see, Frote jumps over it at 40 seconds, so he would have to be done with this in 1 minute, which is tight, but Yannini does not go for the consulate immediately, so he has the cameraman in mind.
Yeah, he's gonna get this guard out of the way. I have no idea, but I would assume he would still be trespassing. Well, I guess if you get past the guard, you might be fine. That's
I
the
guess
case
we'll
with a lot of
see.
It makes it easier at least, but
like he's fine.
yeah.
Oh, and the cameraman is nowhere to be seen. Yeah, he just
turns around immediately. There's no cameraman, so he's going to be headed to the same place as Frote. Shouldn't really be behind it all because it's cycle dependent, assuming he goes for the same thing.
He's basically the 30 seconds behind. He's because of he started later. And I guess he doesn't have to worry about the bodyguard if he took care of him, or maybe just distracted him.
He just distracted them, I think.
Oh, then that it was.
I guess Frote hadn't grabbed the letter opener, but looks like maybe he's wanting to with having that janitor's disguise. Maybe he wants to get Klaus down first to make sure he's back in time. As far as I know, there's only one letter opener on the map, and it's in the consulate on this floor.
That's correct. In the adjacent room from Klaus's spawn point. Not sure what's the name for that, but
yeah, the one. Well, actually, I don't know what it's called either.
There's like nothing interesting in there, so like.
Yeah.
It is called nothing.
Nice. So from the nothing.
You could check the map to see what it's called, but the map does not work. So.
Yeah, it doesn't have a name on the map. There's also only one cleaver down in the kitchen in the consulate.
As we have so eloquently named it, the adjacent room from Klaus's spawn point is now the official title. And
thank you. Where do I sign the petition for that?
Frote's gonna use the scrambler there. Looks like he didn't have any NPCs nearby looking at him, and he's gonna grab the letter opener for the pretty free kill here.
As a janitor, you have one enforcer to dodge, and I don't see nothing wrong happened with Frote, but Yannini is kind of missing Klaus.
And Peekaboo's the security guard. Oh
no. That's a big setback for Yannini.
I'm thinking you could also isolate Klaus in the room with the letter opener, but I don't know his cycle well enough outside of this timing. Have any idea how valid that is?
It is possible, you just have to time it correctly.
You could make him sick as well. I'm not sure if he has the resources for that.
Well, Klaus is close to the room with the letter opener, but I have no idea what to do here, and probably you cannot even open the door with a lockpick without raising suspicion.
But he's going to be saving that for the cameraman.
You could, of course, also just throw something into the toilet there and try to distract him in there. when he walks by. But
Frote's hanging out with some girl in this bathroom here. Maybe
Yep.
looking to get cameraman in there.
Really annoying place, really annoying lady as well, but she carries one invitation, which allows Frote to infiltrate the Shisha Cafe.
And Yannini is sort of trying to figure out what he's going to do with Klaus here. I would assume Klaus probably going to enforce any thrown distraction. So I'm not too sure. He could take this guy out, but it looks like Klaus is maybe...
he is on the move.
I think he only ever went into this room from the other door. But
Yeah.
I have no idea if he's about to do that now or not. Sometimes he walks past it, and sometimes he goes through.
Well, if anyone is familiar with knocking a dozen people out for one disguise or kill, it is Yannini.
True. I mean, honestly, at this point, he's got 2.5 minutes to experiment here. If he's willing to. He can take him out in this room. I'm not sure if anybody else comes in here. I don't believe so, but it's just the...
the security guard walks in there.
I think it's one security guard.
Yeah.
So if he were to know which one exactly, then it's probably fine, but it's still so much setup, and the second cycle is soon coming up, so it's probably best to wait for him. Long range seeker shot for Frote to get the cameraman, perhaps.
Can't quite see. It looks like he might have missed it there.
He aimed quite low.
He has it at the second one, it seems. I thought I saw him stand up there.
Just put Klaus in the briefcase. There we go, Curry. That's...
We need the I see a tactical Klaus.
I think Yannini's match might have been a cameraman spin as well, because I think that was the match where it's somebody ripped leaving the cameraman here, and one of the soldiers comes to the bathroom and found
right. Yeah, I think that was won by Yannini, even though he had to restart because of that. Because on the other hand, the cameraman really never wanted to come for Fopper, and he lost minutes and minutes here waiting for him.
There he went inside the room.
Watching Frote there, I missed Yannini giving us a timing lesson about 6:20.
Yeah, 6:20.
He's gonna have to get his food vendor disguise over there. Trespassing, but most trespassing disguises are fine in the console.
Not many enforcers other than the
guards.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, that's logical for consulates. It is usually quite open for anyone.
Frote headed into the school from the headmaster's way. He spawns pretty close to a cleaver, so should have that already.
Timing was messed up heavily. It's probably a solid minute faster normally, says Meme.
And at last, Yanni gets the kill on Klaus, but he's like solid 4 minutes behind with the... He has to get the cameraman as well. Exfiltrate the consulate and all that.
Ooh.
I'm gonna go ahead and trank that that one guard, not wanting to worry about the body found that happens occasionally. Use the intercom lure.
The next question is, will Frote be able to get this silently or not? Or will he do like last time and somehow alert someone on the other side of the building?
Oh, I'm scared to think about the future even. Hopefully the game doesn't screw him over for the second time in Marrakesh.
Yeah, you can hope.
I would assume he's not thinking he's too far ahead here. So maybe ends up going for the keys. Could be another spot where he might rip.
Yeah, he doesn't have the keys yet.
If he doesn't go for those, which he looks like he might be, I don't know about that.
Yeah, that's scary.
That
He peekaboo guard into the room, sees his dead body, but the way he pulls him around the corner there doesn't give him a chance to spot the body.
he's really confident in that strategy. He swears by it, and that doesn't rip him ever,
Well,
I
either way,
guess.
he does get the key, and he's out.
I wouldn't trust leaving the body there, but if you're fast to exit, it doesn't matter.
And almost 10-minute Marrakesh spin, but there wasn't really much wasted time there. And that's going to be 2-4.
Meanwhile, Yannini just got a cameraman disguise.
Not bad. But yeah, Frote did it nicely first try, and I think both of them would have finished it in their first attempt. But it's just the Klaus timing that worked out for Frote, but not for Yannini, and that made for a huge lead, which Frote carried to the finish.
Yannini's turn to pick him up. What are we expecting?
Yikes, we were in Santa Fortuna the whole time. On the overlay, okay. I guess I can change it for 2 seconds.
Imagine looking at that.
Finally going to see a Yannini pick, and it's not going to be Hokkaido.
Are you sure about that?
He can try to pick Hokkaido, but then Curry will say no, and he'll ask him again.
If Curry does his job properly and isn't paid off by anyone.
They just betrays their roles and going with no rules grand final. Yeah.
I've had some reading comprehension issues today, so that Hokkaido may as well be going by for all I know, which is also banned.
And Yannini is still thinking about it.
I mean, it's a hard choice.
Yeah, it's definitely, and he has to make the right one.
Or maybe he's just busy typing in the maps into an RNG picker.
Just,
I mean,
frantically looking up the isolations on several maps and how to play roulette in Miami. Yannini would be there. So.
He's watching the
ooh.
World Championship finals here. Mendoza, hi.
Yeah, interesting.
For the first time in this grand final, we will make it to season 3 for
Imagine
Mendoza.
that.
Mendoza, I think, is going to be Yannini's most comfortable Hitman 3 map. And I believe I've seen Frote say in some of his roulette streams that he's not terrible on Mendoza, but not too comfortable with it either.
Probably that might have been the reason that Yannini does like or does feel really comfortable on Mendoza, and Frote doesn't, but it doesn't mean a huge skill gap on any maps.
I did see Frote had a Mendoza spin earlier, did the wrong kill method for Yates, but that's more of just misreading the spin than anything.
Funnily enough, Yannini also played Mendoza in round 2, and he also lost his round 2 Mendoza against I Like Hitman.
We're gonna see both players lose here.
The winner will, as always, be IOI.
Accurate. And I would be quite surprised if we saw a tie in this match, but it is possible. I wouldn't say on this map, but...
Yeah, so we survived Santa Fortuna without a tie. We won't see Mumbai. So I guess it's still possible to see Haven, most likely from a Frote pick.
I mean,
yeah.
I had in RR4 a speedrun spin on Mendoza that I think was around 4 minutes, and you can get even faster than that. So this can either be faster than Dartmoor or 10 minutes of running.
Yeah, I believe...
Let's hope for 10 minutes of running.
I think I have that spin, however, from RR4. And It was really quick by you and Buzzybug. I think
Yeah.
it was the loud explosion as Gaucho and Vidal
Yeah.
SMG as Vator. Like SMG as Vator, done in 30 seconds.
So I killed Tamara like 20 seconds into the spin, and then it was basically just running to Yates and running to the shed. So how you would make that quicker is having like Mercenary or something and Silent Explosive.
Yeah. As Mandy says, yikes. That's a good one too. Like for Don Yikes.
Emojin liking Mendoza. Well, apparently Frote cannot emojin liking China because he banned it. So
friendship ruined.
Fro just wants to see Code suffer.
And we saw myself and Yannini in the semifinals absolutely losing it on China.
Yeah, with a really interesting double accident spin. Was it? It was you, right? The fall and the electrocution.
Yeah, it was fall as the red hat guard, the one same disguise as the one that follows Imogen, and then for Hush, and then it was electrocution engineer, which is the red lab disguise, the full tech suit electrocution for Imogen, which I could have done much faster than I did. That was just me not thinking too well. And I think Yannini said that he hadn't practiced electrocution, so he was sort of doing that one on the fly.
Somehow people never practice electrocution against you.
Curry said that spin was not 530, but actually my first try, I got it after the match. I got it in just a little bit longer than 530. So if you do it a little better than that, it could be.
Everything is 530 if you try hard enough.
There are some
Good
spins though, that can
point.
get much longer, even optimized. So
if not in a spin, then in a week-long mini comp, we can get it down to 530.
Bring back the roulette mini comps. I'm not good at anything else.
Make the mini comp and someone will get half a minute, like no matter what.
Yeah. Just shoot every wall on the map and then you'll have a 20-second time.
Quote unquote walls, like they, as if they did anything. Well, less than a minute to go, and once again, with a win, Yannini would get to 6 points and the match point.
Ooh.
Yeah, Coates, the final spin in Improv Royale was a loud kill on Imogen with no target KO. So that's what made that a pain, not necessarily the spin itself.
I think I exited with a 21 minute in-game time, but I guess 5 of them were thinking about the loud weapon.
Yeah, I was saying in chat that I would have done exactly what you did. So that spin was really just I think one of the only things you could get for no target KO on that map that like actually made it difficult. But anyways, got the spin here. And for fun, you want to run it?
Sure, it's another electrocution. As opposed to Friday, it's Dan Yates' electrocution as head of security and Tamara Vidal assault rifle as sommelier. Fancy disguises and an easy Tamara and a really interesting Yates.
Is that the same disguise combination we saw before, or was that a different unique for the second one?
I remember head of security from before and sommelier from before, so it could be the same spin.
Yeah, just the same spin overall.
Interesting. I guess the Vator start will be still the powerful one here for the double isolation.
Waiter, you're not going to want to trigger the conversation yet. If you're looking to get head of security the way I would, you're going to want to be pretty nearby right after that conversation's over. But either way, I think it's probably going to be normal isolation and then just going to set up Dawn for the electrocution.
They should both have enough time for both KOs. And yeah, I guess if you have Corvo, it's good to trigger as soon as possible, because then he moves in a better position, but the head of security doesn't have a good route.
According to Pidgeotto, you can get Sommelier before getting to Dawn on time. I still really don't have faith in it, but I think he's in chat, so.
Yeah, I was taught to do so, and hours later I couldn't replicate it, so it remains a myth in my head. At least someone does that.
Dawn can be secluded like everywhere, so just knock out like 2 NPCs and you have him alone.
Yeah. Sommelier, though, doesn't really matter here if you get it before or after Dawn. So it looks like Yannini's going to go ahead and set him up here. And you're going to have to watch out. Looks like that guard has selective hearing and didn't choose to hear Dawn scream there.
Yep. Important to watch out for the question mark downstairs.
Which I learned in the first match of RR4. Ripped like twice.
And now the question is that will any of the mercenaries hear this sync as a distraction? They're quite far away. So probably not. And
they shouldn't.
Nice.
As far as I can tell, at least.
Frote's gonna pick up something there. His assault rifle, most likely.
And the replan for Yannini, what was he missing? A seeker for the head of security, I guess.
Seeker. I would go for a calmer there, but I guess he's comfortable with some sort of seeker. Maybe he can get him in the middle of the conversation with a seeker. I'm not sure.
Interesting. It was so sudden too.
In chunking, they can hear Hush sync from facility. Yeah, some of the maps just are all at one space in terms of sound, so syncs.
Yeah, the sync seems like it's more based on IO spaghetti code than actually how sound works in the game, so it's not really consistent with distance.
Like the sync underneath the pit stops in Miami just lures people from all over the map.
You try to be smart about these formulas and how sound works in this game, and it just comes down to, well, I think that this should be heard and this shouldn't, and yeah.
The sink in Dartmoor as well, in that the bathroom you would normally want to get your target in, that the lawyer can hear through the wall and like around 4 different doors, so.
Yeah, it's a fun way to get the lawyer out the room with random sync.
Frote is going to make the head of security sick. It'll be interesting to see if this is faster than calmering him on the stairs with all the walking, but it looks like the head of security is wanting to go for one of the 6,000 trash cans on this map, and he's in the middle of everybody.
Yeah, that was...
There's Corvo, and he's going to go to this other one here.
You can never trust a seeker shot unless you have unless you prepared or something.
Never trust domatics in this game.
So Frote is ahead here, but we're going to have to sit through a minute of riveting gameplay of him waiting for the head of security, waiting for Cortazar to stop throwing up. Maybe going to go for this in the meantime.
Yannini set up the Yates skill.
And he also has the agency pickup here in the attic, which should be the silenced assault rifle, because why would you go for the loud one?
Because of style points.
Always.
He's going to grab the access dongle, which is completely useless on this map, but they got to force the camera in here somehow.
These and the few SAG games are just such H3 or Season 3 things.
Because there is a screwdriver like 2 feet away, which you can also use to open the same grate, and it's the only thing the dongle is used for, as far as I know.
Yep.
Yeah. More or less.
There is also the very important use for the dongle or for the camera, and that you can scan all the barcodes around the map, which gives you nothing but a challenge. So
Sweet XP, and Yannini got caught placing the gun, which Meme was talking about, and
Yannini in chat ?
I definitely talked to Yannini about the Cortazar gun placement, so I think he was trying to replicate that. It's of course tough in illegal disguise.
He did want a seeker for something though, so I'd be interested to see where he went with that. Looks like Frote is... He's got the disguise, and looks like he's going to be headed over to Tamara.
He has everything for Tamara, yeah.
Now that he's triggered Cortazar to get sick, I would think that when he's done being sick, he would go his normal route after the conversation. I'm not sure if he would go back to it or not.
Most likely, yeah, seeing as they already triggered the conversation.
Yeah, it was triggered because he used a medic mine. And I'm like 90% sure that Cortazar just despawns after a certain point in his cycle, because I just cannot find him. After like a minute, like I get him on the stairs, but then after he goes through the door to the barrel room, I just have no idea where he goes.
Just do the mission story where you show Tamara and Diana around, and he'll turn up again.
Yep, that spawns him back in the map.
NPC is working as intended, nice.
Looks like Corvo is just hanging out by himself, looking over the railing. I'm not sure where Cortazar went. Looks like Frote might be looking for him.
Yeah, I missed where Cortazar should be, so it's either up there or down here. But
I think it goes through the barrel room up into the wheel.
Because
sure, though.
Corvo wasn't continuing on his cycle, but it looks like Cortazar was.
Cortazar is in position. I guess that happens because when you take on the Somalia disguise, the closing statement mission story begins, and that is one hell of a corner shot, but it works out.
And then gets the kill, remote kill on Yates, and I guess he's gonna be headed to an exit now.
He needs to take care of the cameras first, but
that is true.
Goes from red to yellow, so he still has to shoot.
Hopefully he's aware of that, because he did
he should be.
Pretty quick route to it there when he was down in the barrel room. But...
If Rote somehow misses that he has to take care of his cameras, I don't know what's happening in the world.
That would be a very upsetting way to lose this map.
He's going towards the dancing area. No, he was going upstairs, I guess. It's a really convoluted route to the security room, but he's going to get there.
I'm really hoping he's not headed for this car exit right now.
What is he doing?
He has the silence pistol in hand, so...
Behind the Asado area, so yeah, looks like he's gonna get there eventually.
Yeah, it's just a very weird route, but
I don't think I've ever seen a rip to forgetting to take out the evidence, so that would certainly be a new one. But...
Yep.
You can get spotted in here pretty easily, and there's not really the best angles on the security box.
Yeah, this is so risky. He gets it. Only question marks. No to enforcing white dots.
But he's out.
That's green. Also, Yates was found on Frote's end, but they didn't get to Valentina, who was KO'd, so that's also a relief, and looks like a win for Frote if it stays green for another 5 seconds.
Wait, Yates got found? How would that even happen?
Very nice.
Or was it... I might have read the picture wrong, and it might have been Cortazar found, but it was a dark room. And
yeah, probably
Cortazar. Anything's possible in this game. I could totally see Yates' body getting found somehow.
I mean,
Right.
the people will have to go through a KO'd body to find them, but yeah.
Find him, don't you?
Why Edwards finds you, 47. He is
Frote
untraceable.
forgot to bring his proximity explosive duck, so we're gonna have to.
His downfall.
We'll have
Even
to
though he's
wait for
already
the.
have this fun role play.
So for,
Grove at sunset.
I think most of you know it, but of course the win counts once he presses finish or exit the mission. He just has to wait for the 5-star rating to confirm it, but there it is, and it's all fine.
Nice.
Is it possible to lose SA while you're stuck in that cutscene?
Probably.
So
This is
since you
HITMAN after all.
can,
RR4, the ruling was you had to have Silent Assassin on the screen, and that's quite a bit of time where that could go away if that were the case.
since you can die during the tango scene and you can kill Diana during the tango scene, I just feel like there's no way to ruin the rating, but I'm not an expert on this.
Maybe it's like the what the broken manhole exit was, where it because the time I think adds on the tango, so it's not like it records it when you hit the exit. I have no idea how this game works, honestly.
Neither does I.
True. We got a 4-4 tie here, and Yannini is gonna have another map pick.
And Yannini is quite a bit upset. So this story is that he claims that it was 6-minute spin maximum, and he had to restart because he thought he has no seeker to isolate Tamara while she was laying in the bush KO'd.
That's what I was thinking. He wasn't using it for Cortazar because he was trying to use the gun to get him isolated. So I was wondering why he switched to a seeker, and that was the only reason I could think of.
Let's go to Haven. Oh god, okay.
Interesting Mendoza, and followed by a really interesting map choice.
Yeah.
Especially considering I think Frote's pretty comfortable with his Haven strats.
Haven against Frote is
Yeah,
hard.
I was going to predict a Haven pick in the final, but it was going to be Frote's pick in my opinion, because I think it's his one. But
Yeah.
now Yanni's pick it, so interesting.
Haven
Interesting.
is officially just as popular as Paris and more than I guess.
Haven is far from a safe haven.
Yep, second Haven Island of the tournament. And
More than Dartmoor as well. Or no, Dartmoor has 2, so the same.
so in terms of popularity, I guess, because no one picked Dartmoor, but 2 matches began with RNG Dartmoor. Interesting.
Yeah,
And
so,
Keywords will nicely look away for the next 30 minutes.
there are maps that have been picked less than Haven Island. Just all of you in chat, just think about that.
I'd rather not think about that.
Bangkok has only been played once, I see.
Think about that, and then think about RR5 and what that implies.
Oh god.
So yeah, this is not the decider. First to 8 points, and the winner will get to 6. They will still need 1 more map win. We already know your feelings. But I can replay the one from Thursday. I think that will fit.
Which was somehow maybe the most consistent map of that match for both of the players.
Yeah, that's crazy to think about, but that was a 13-14 minute first try from Frote.
And unless he gets a quick kill on Tyson with the spin, I would assume he would go for his same peekaboo isolation at the outside of the gates to the villa.
Yeah, that seems solid for him. It's a quite predictable first 6 minutes of the spin until the 3 targets are down. Well, here's the Haven spin. Chris, I think it's your turn if you want.
All right, it's going to be Tyson Williams, explosion accident in the gas suit. Going to be Stephen Bradley with injected poison as the personal trainer. And it's going to be Ludmila Petrova with the barber razor as the masseur.
Ooh.
I really have no idea how to.
Oh
I
boy.
guess Haven spin. So, I mean, I would say that the personal trainer start that Yannini has selected is probably what I would go with.
Mm-hmm.
You're already in the Steven disguise, and you can seeker him at the start. Just bring the poison with you. Ludmilla, I think the only barber razor is in the villa. Is that correct?
Yes, it is up in the second floor.
I would say that in the Shark Hut, in Tobias Reaper's hut, there is one in the bathroom. So I think the barber razor won't be an issue.
Yeah, if that's the case, then you could get Steven, and then you could seeker Steven, and then maybe have time to go seeker
Oh yeah, there
Ludmilla
is one. Okay.
and get the razor. So I would say that would be a pretty quick strat. But it looks like Frote wants to maybe set up Tyson and get that kill first.
Also, this is hilarious, and Coates and PG are totally right. From personal trainer start, there is a chance, and I think it's even consistent with some timings, to just simply inject Stephen Bradley for the first kill after 8, 10, 12 seconds.
I didn't know about that. But I guess you would want the seeker anyways, right? Either
Probably
way.
for Ludmilla, yeah.
It can be helpful, but there are ways to go about it without it, so...
We did it, boys. We found a use in this game for the emetic syringe, but sadly it looks like we're not going to be seeing it right now.
It took us 2 weeks in this tournament, and I guess 5 years since it debuted.
Instead of the syringe, I use that all the time, but emetic I don't think I've ever used since 2016.
Alright, nice insight. So just the girls had turned to watch out for, and yeah, the yoga people won't see me either. Thanks, guys.
But yeah, looks like Frote's going to set up Tyson. You know, maybe he gets body found there, maybe not. Who knows? He's going to
basically Haven, yeah.
Head down. Should be able to trigger the. I think you can trigger the bookcase in this disguise if you want to go down that way. But
yeah, you can.
I'll take out the evidence. And I think just got spotted there.
Frote is searching for
There
one
was an
single
shot.
shot.
Guard. But he was already red from Tyson, so I'm not too sure on that.
It seemed like a soft lockdown, maybe.
He's going to get the gas suit here pretty quick, so we should see in a moment.
Yeah, he should be fine if not for Tyson, but how long will Tyson be not found is a good question. I think the gas suit is about a minute away for Frote.
Yeah, I know Papa and Chad, I know he got spotted by Tyson and he's red from that, but it seemed like one of the guards when he shot the evidence had an exclamation point, so I'm thinking he might have gotten seen there, not too sure.
Seeing as they didn't go into combat, I don't think so, but hard to say for sure.
Might be VIP guard behavior. I'm not sure which guards have it and which don't.
Just assume everyone has it.
Frote has the gas suit, and Yannini has Steven down as early as we predicted.
Frote is back in green.
It's the kill that is an accident kill. He used a breaching charge, but that was an accident, and he is green now.
And the body found, after the body found, it stays green, so if it wasn't already confirmed by the explosion prompt, then we should know it by now that it's a valid kill, and 1 kills each in Haven.
Yep, and Yannini has the masseur disguise.
It looks like he might have gone ahead and come up with the strategy that I only knew about because people told me things, but I did see him get the Steven kill, and looks like he's headed back for Ludmilla right now. So honestly, not sure who's in the lead here because Yannini is going to have to hit Tyson somehow. Assuming he can do it pretty quickly, I would say he's definitely in the lead right now. But
And the gas suit. So you are an employee of the Haven facility, but you cannot go upstairs. I think you have clearance downstairs. So this is not a help, really.
Yannini has taken care of Ludmilla.
And he will have the Villa Guard outfit from Steven's Guard.
Yep.
Hey, it still looks like a Yanni lead because there's just 1 kill left for him. 2 for Frote, and Frote still needs to get the personal trainer disguise, which I think always have some risk involved.
looks like Frote's good. He grabbed his lethal syringe and looks like he's looking to Seeker. Steven's gonna want to do that quickly here.
He's leaving the area, and that missed. No, that hit.
He hit it.
Delayed reaction, but
Yeah, I'm not sure how far he's able to get before that Seeker doesn't get him where you want him to be, but
yeah, really good question.
I don't even know if there's any spot on his island where he can even throw up at.
I think he throws up, like, underneath the plateau. But
looks like you got Yannini in the menu, and Frote's going to use an emetic mine on the personal trainer.
That is one safe way to get the disguise, and Yannini may have been thinking about the 1 gas suit or probably the propane flasks, which we believe.
Meme Junkie confirms that it is underneath the plateau that he can throw up on the island.
Yeah, but it looks like he did end up in a good spot for Frote. Going to take out his guard, and he's going to have to wait for the personal trainer because it's a live kill. And Yannini, we're going to see pretty soon how he plans on getting this Tyson kill.
Yeah.
You can do a drive-by kill with the remote explosive, but you're going to have to be in a legal area for the disguise.
Yeah, I wonder what will he go for first? Downstairs for the disguise or upstairs and set up the kill? Which of course has the extra risk of having the body found, and Yanni heads downstairs.
And it's going to be the Steven kill done for Frote.
Yep.
Does not have Ludmilla secret yet. He also has to get the Masseur disguise, I believe. Should be heading for that now.
Anyone know why the secret's only available online? No.
I had no idea.
I didn't know that was the case of anyways. But if it is just IOI things,
yeah, there is no reason it shouldn't be available offline as well, but it's probably some spaghetti code that just breaks everything.
As it is part of Haven DLC, but if you have it unlocked from, I think it's Mastery on Haven, you should be able to bring it either way, right?
Yeah, it should be. But
probably it's some dependencies which can only be checked online because nothing works offline. Interesting.
Sucks that I'm not able to say things in this game with any sort of certainty, but that's just how it is.
None of us can.
I think
some of us just sound more confident.
I was literally thinking a few days ago, like I was trying to figure out anything in this game that's 100% consistent. The only thing I can think of, I've never had a body found after it's been dumped. I think that's the only thing that's consistent.
Setting the bar low there, yeah.
The map just like deletes the body, and that's it. That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, starting from the basics.
It doesn't delete the body because I've been able to kill dumped bodies before, but haven't gotten them found at least. So yeah, that's true.
Looks like Frote is. Did he take out the guy that usually goes into the bathroom? I don't think it should matter either way now that he's got her isolated, but
Lyudmila is isolated, and the disguise will be here very shortly.
I know Yannini used a calmer on the Masseur. I'm not sure if you need to do that or not.
There is one that goes into that back area, as far as if I remember correctly. But
Yannini, you're not just passing. That's not gonna be a peekaboo.
And hopefully that's not the case, I guess, on Frote7, because he's gonna have that body there.
yeah, let's hope.
It's not. He's not too far from an exit here, but.
Doesn't have to stay green for too long, and doesn't matter where the guy is. Frote will be able to exit green sub 10 minutes. Very nice.
And, yep, looks like that's a Frote win.
Only Lyudmila goes into the change room. Okay, thanks, Mo.
Yeah, and we had Yannini there. Frote strat was obviously faster because he was able to get Tyson first, but Yannini has been sort of running around here for quite a bit of time trying to figure out what to do with Tyson, and he had his other kills down pretty quick.
I'm thinking that Yannini maybe... Of course he's lost now, but he's going back down and probably even crashing the servers. Now that he cannot go up, just a lot of time. Yeah, Yannini was the first on 2 kills, but Frote had this route together until the very end and didn't have to stop for the gas suit strategy. He got it down at the beginning, so I can now definitely change the scores to 6-4, and that is the first match point of the day.
Coach says Razor and Gas Suit both in Villa Villa is the fastest start. I thought so as well, but apparently there's a Razor elsewhere on the map.
In the Shark Hut, yeah.
Yeah,
and
apparently.
If you're gonna come back here for the Gas Suit, and there's some way you can get Tyson downstairs, maybe with the peekaboo, but then you wouldn't have to go upstairs at all, so you wouldn't have to worry about getting the Razor either.
Is anyone gonna tell him that Frote got it? He should see it on the Roulette link.
He was pinged in Discord. The spin was deleted, as you can see it on here the screen. So he should know that it's over.
Yeah. Probably just wants to finish because there's only 1 kill left.
I can send him an email if needed.
Email. I can send a pigeon over to Yannini's house if necessary. I'm not sure what country Yannini even lives in, but
Germany.
So I guess if Currymaker wants, he can send a. If I'm not sure if Currymaker even still lives in Germany. I know he's German, but
who knows? Why is Yannini
if that
playing
is
it
the
out?
case, we can send a pigeon over there. But it looks like he's seeing now.
Why not play it out? It's fun. You get to experiment.
And now he knows the news.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Tyson even goes back to his theater room at some point. At what time that would even be? But
he does go back there. I'm not sure about the timing though.
It's part of his regular cycle, so I guess every 4.5 minutes or so.
Something like that.
So Yannini has learned the news, and he said that he messed it up. And he might be thinking about his third and last map choice.
Well, he says he messed it up, but honestly, I don't know how you could have done that last one any better. I guess maybe there's somewhere I missed it where you would have been able to isolate him in a non-trespassing disguise.
use magic?
I think it's just the decision that he went for the
Haven
disguise first and the isolation second. So if he isolated him first and did the kill remotely, then he would have done it quicker.
But minor comeback from Frote. It's not quite the one map away from losing that it was in the past, but we're going to have another Yannini map choice, and he is going to have to either win or tie this next one.
And we're
Colorado.
going to Colorado.
Ooh.
That's a picture with the meme. I'm sorry, I cannot send this picture, but check the Discord because it's amazing. So this is a really interesting pick, and both of them are really great at Colorado. So once again, it's just the form of the day will decide, I guess.
Colorado in 5 minutes.
Map number 6 of the grand final, and could be the last one if Frote wins this. Or it could be a tie if Papa Levy's wish comes true with the 4 live action kills.
I'm hoping for some suit plus scarecrow combos.
And a large weapon, silenced pistol, fiber wire, so that your loadout is messed up and cannot pick anything else.
I know Yannini obviously very comfortable in Colorado, but not really. I mean, obviously, Frote's going to be good on pretty much any map you pick, but I'm not sure exactly how comfortable he is with some of the more ridiculous Colorado spins.
Yeah, I wonder how ridiculous it will get.
Oh yes, please give us scarecrow fire accident so we get some Easter eggs going.
Scarecrow fire on like 5 random guards.
Yeah.
The curry maker offering his PayPal if anyone wants to pull up some live spins on this map.
I'll send you 1 Norwegian krone for the scarecrow fire accident. Okay. Deal.
Scarecrow.
Yeah.
I was also thinking about, so suit is obviously only valid for Maya on a remote kill, which I had in my match versus Coates. But I was thinking if you get suit versus Sean, I really don't know, because you can't get the isolation right from the start in the house. So I really don't know how I would even go about doing that.
Yeah, that's fair play, and I guess it would be about waiting for him to come back to the main house at around 6-7 minutes.
There's no shot you're going to be able to get him in the shed with the 2 technicians getting over there in suit if it's not a remote kill.
It doesn't.
Okay, I know a way, I think, and it's Silver Surfer's strategy of seekering Sean when he's just outside the main house. So your whole spin begins with a seeker shot on Sean, and he goes to a very convenient place, like behind there's a dump and there's a bin and there's the outside elite guard. So that kind of area. So I guess that's the way if you want to get him.
Like by where you would drown him at in the trough, or is it somewhere else?
No, it's the top of the stairs leading down to the basement.
Oh, okay. That's really easy then.
I'm just not sure how quick you have to be with the seeker shot, but I have seen it work before. And I'm pretty sure it was suit start. Why would he do it on hacker start? So
yeah, it seems like whether or not you go hacker or suit, really seems to depend on what your disguise is for Sean, because even if you get him at the start as the hacker and you've got him in the basement, if you've got like Point Man or something for Sean, it feels like it's honestly just faster to get him in the shed anyways.
You do the 2 KOs in the house and probably have a time to get the disguise and then deal with Maya and Sean, or switch it up a little and probably Maya first, then the disguise. But yeah, it's a small map and you can get away with these kind of optimizations, which both of them are very good at. So will Frote win Roulette Raceway in Colorado here?
Well, the spin is live. I think maybe it's Random's turn.
Sure. We have Sean Rose, Loud SMG, Militia Technician, and we have Esther Berg, Suit, with the Cleaver, and Penelope Graves, Scarecrow, Inject Poison. That's the 2 I wanted. Nice. And last but not least, Maya Pravati, Pistol as the Militia Soldier.
This
You
is one
guys
hell of a
are-
spin.
You guys are seeing this Penelope kill too, right? It's not just me.
Nope,
Yes.
it's happening. It's going to happen.
I mean, according to the Discord, it is a legal spin, but I'm not gonna act like I have any idea how to do it. But I guess Yannini does because he's loaded in the map here pretty quickly.
You
So-
just take some chances, hope for the best.
Just put on the Scarecrow disguise and inject her with the poison forehead.
Yeah.
Easy.
Just role plays the Scarecrow from Batman.
I guess it is better than Fiberwire, but that's not saying a whole lot. Otherwise, you've got suit starts required, which I feel like would probably be the play either way.
Ooh, Bullet Impact Notice for Yannini because it's
Yeah,
not the Kruger, I guess.
I've never had a problem there with the silver, but
the guards in this basement particularly are really interesting with how they hear things. I've been sitting in the back corner and had one of the guards hear a Kruger shot before, so I just really have no idea.
Restart for Yannini. Frote gets the Ezra isolation done, so it's advantage Frote.
nice.
You got the restart. Looks like he's going to be going for the Maya isolation.
Plenty of time for that one. He might be thinking about the disguise as well. Definitely gets the Cleaver.
There is somehow no militia cook in this spin, so I'm not going to be seeing
I know,
that
right?
again. In terms of his other disguises, he's really only got to worry about, assuming he gets Sean in the shed, which I would believe is what he would do. Just have to worry about the soldier, which is what he's going to be using that thrown distraction for.
Sean in the
Watch for
shed is a loud
the
kill,
dude.
though.
The dude out there. Oh, that's true. And there's only one dump in there, but if you have a calmer, should be fine, at least.
But he's spending the calmer shot on this militia.
Yeah, why?
Militia soldier.
I think he's
Why?
worried about the timing on Maya, so he doesn't want to worry about having to drag that guy and everything.
Yeah, that might be. Okay.
And then the guy that goes for the generator is obviously going to find that body. Looks like Frote is maybe having the same issue with Maya that I did, and that she sometimes just seems to ignore thrown distractions.
Yeah, that's
Just
right,
doesn't want
unfortunately.
to.
Yeah, because there's nobody else going for it. Sometimes she just spots him throwing that through the wall there.
And
Oh,
now...
no, she's...
The body found.
That will mess with Maya at least, but to the point of a target lockdown, perhaps?
She's not on lockdown.
Yet.
He is up now, but I'm not sure how likely she'll be to respond to this. It looks like the other one's going for the throw.
That might be a miss.
He's gonna knock him out, but Maya's probably pretty close to walking away here.
Yannini is doing the same thing here, but it seems he's actually getting it.
Looks like he's got another attempt. Almost could have gotten spotted there, turning on the generator by the guy that just woke up, but looks like he's got Maya here, but as you see in the background, there's Sean going into the shed right now. So he's gonna have to be pretty quick here.
Yeah, we'll be tight on the timing. Yannini gets the Maya kill down. He caught up really nicely after the restart.
Yeah, Frote had a lot of shenanigans to mess. Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
balls this shot. He gets away with it.
Oh my gosh, and he does.
How close was that?
That was some quick thinking there on Frote's part, but yeah, he left a weapon there, so Maya was about to go report it and be a problem again.
Oh boy.
I'm not too sure what you need. Oh, maybe Yannini's going for the free technician, but I didn't see what he ended up doing with Sean, if anything at all.
Nothing yet, as far as I am aware.
I feel like that is going to be the main house isolation then, after getting the other 2 kills down.
Yeah,
Well,
you can get the technicians there, but it looks like neither of them are going to end up going for that isolation. So we've got Frote and the Scarecrow.
So Penelope's cycle is shorter, so there is merit in waiting for Penelope getting the kill and then wait a bit more for Sean.
Yannini has the Esther kill down. So does Frote.
They've both got same kills down. Guess won't have to worry about Penelope having her conversation with Ezra here. And looks like maybe a slight lead for Frote just because of in-game time. But he's just going to wait for Penelope to come back in the house.
Yeah, I feel like both of them will do the same thing in the near future. Just get the free syringe and wait for Penelope and get her under the chandelier next to the clock.
So we got Sean coming back for Frote. Maybe.
I'm unsure whether Yannini picked up the syringe or not.
I thought Sean got here later than this, but looks like he's headed in the house right now to look at his clock.
Oh, this is probably because Maya is already dead and no discussions there. This will be a close one though. Can he hide Sean? He can.
Yannini has the same, well, not really problem, but timings.
Yep, Sean is going to be the first one in the house for Yannini as well, and well, we have seen on the left side what to do. We see the same on the right side. Oh, that is one risky poke, but Frote gets it and is 1 kill away from the title.
No.
Yeah, I would say that might just be it.
He has the disguise down here, right? That munition tag. Or was it Yannini who got the free disguise?
Yannini took the disguise down there.
That had grabbed it already. Yeah, it looks like he's getting an elite to go over for it. So I guess this could actually be Yannini ahead here.
Yeah.
Oh boy, this is really interesting. Can he get the poke down?
Able to get the He hasn't. My goodness.
Body found
Frote gets
for
Frote.
Oh.
Lead guard that you dump on the stairs at the start. Who finds them?
It's Penelope's 2 guards who act differently if she's down in the first cycle as opposed to the second one. And I really wonder if it's going to be the same for Yannini.
I mean, how do you plan for that?
You just...
Very carefully.
Well, so
Gunshot
so
hurts.
they go back through this area that we're at now. Where do they just hang out back by the gas lamp or something?
How did that guy hear that shot?
Because the shelter does not work anymore. Oh. How can you save this? Oh my goodness. People are coming down. This might be it.
Can't save that, really.
No.
Or
Restart for both.
Damn.
So, yeah, I guess you're supposed to shoot from the back of the room. If that's the case, I'm surprised Nini didn't know that. But I didn't exactly see it happen on my end, so...
I think there were some talks after his Colorado win in one of the rounds. It may have been round one when he got loud kills at the end, and because it worked out for him, I guess he just did similar stuff and nothing special, but nothing special is just not enough anymore because the soundproof shelter isn't soundproof anymore.
Yeah.
And I think that body is going to be an issue again once Penelope is dead in the second cycle. Oh, it's nice.
Yannini has some interesting things going on there.
Well, as long as no target lockdown and alarms, then it's probably fine.
True, but he shouldn't have been going outside this early. Weird.
Oh, another restart for both.
Okay, I'm fucking it up now. You should have had it though.
Really, Tinor? That's one breaking news if I ever heard one. Well, we were so close to having a Colorado winner and perhaps the tournament winner because Frote was looking really hot.
I guess I think this is actually intentional, and they're both trying to make sure we get a decider here.
Do you think they are in a voice chat right now, just trying to make sure it's going 6-6, then 7-7?
For sure.
You heard that, right? If you check over there, I'll check over here.
Well, let's see. I mean, they're pretty much going to be doing the same thing here. I guess. Well, Yannini's going to hide this body. I was going to say the only thing that might be different is that Frote knows that that body gets found now, and Yannini maybe doesn't, but he gets hidden anyways.
I wonder if... I mean, that's a big moment, I feel, because that body would have been an issue after 7 minutes and the 4 kills were down, so...
I guess the only thing you would do differently here for Yannini is either doing that kill last or going a little further back.
So I feel like after this incident, he remembered, or hopefully remembered, the discussions about the shelter and will take it extra safe. But it's a really good question if extra safe means exit kill or just a shot from the back.
For me, it's for sure exit kill. I don't trust anything.
Yeah.
But
I was gonna say.
That's probably the way to go then.
World where the back of the shelter may or may not be consistent. But it looks like this time Frote ended up getting a soldier disguise before going for Maya, not the same one that he got last time.
Yeah, it's looking different, that's all I know.
I'll be able to get this kill right away here.
And Yanni's not much behind.
Hopefully that kills her, and it does.
Yeah, I would I would definitely KO her first. But
There are parts of the back of NPCs' heads that are nearly bulletproof, so I don't trust that at all. I feel like I'd probably just go for an eliminate prompt there, but
that's just as good. But I don't know, they are just so confident in these.
they're both doing just about the same thing here. Oh,
Oh, that was amazing.
somehow
Partially
that guard
spotted.
to see him changing, but not the dude that was lying on the ground right next to him.
That guy was cornered anyway, so it shouldn't matter. But
Yeah, but he was still changing these guys in their line of sight.
true.
In the hole, which has to be intentional as well, as always.
I've been too busy focusing on their pass runs that I've missed some stuff here. But let's see.
Ezra Berg has been eliminated.
Got Ezra kills the throat.
Tino says just shoot any loud gun from the desk or back in the shelter and it won't be heard. I
Looks
bet my
like
life on it, so
Yannini's looking to do the same. I think once again Yannini has the technician disguise.
yeah, he does.
And Frote does not. I could have missed something else. But both going for the scarecrow here.
Just hiding some bodies on Frote's end. Loud SMG in hand. They are definitely both getting shown down to the basement. So there's no need for a mask from upstairs.
Looks like they're both going to be doing a little waiting in the house here. They both gotten. Seems like they both gotten their first 2 kills faster than last time. But it shouldn't really make a difference either way. Frote will have time now to go get the technician disguise, presumably. So
Yeah, it's just the same amount of weight until presumably the same cycles.
Yeah.
Sean back first without Maya's conversation. Then Penelope, it's around 7 minutes.
Oh,
Now-
Frote has the hostage.
Oh,
That's why. I was like, why is he trespassing anywhere in there? Nope. And I looked hostile area.
What the
that's-
fuck, man?
and he couldn't avoid the 2 Spec Ops guys.
That's the. Yeah. That is. I guess, if nothing else, even more confirmation that it still exists in this game.
Mm-hmm.
But
No, I mean, this was obviously on purpose, just so to get the decider.
spaghetti. But yeah, that's another Frote losing to the game being the game, assuming obviously that Yannini is able to get this
Yeah.
here.
Yannini's having fun with the crowbar.
In gameplay, Yannini's doing the stats to save 2 frames on Sean's cycle every time he picks that up. But yeah, he's able to get Sean here. Hopefully gets him down to the basement.
Yep.
And it looks safe, but yeah, my heart always stops a little when you do this in a hostile disguise, and that was a huge peekaboo.
We lose somebody.
Yeah.
Last time it seemed like he. Oh my goodness! Last time it seemed like he missed getting Penelope with the injected right away, and might once again be an issue. But he calmers that hacker.
Ooh, that
is
might
gonna
change the map a bit. If
Ah.
he is found, probably not.
Probably won't be, but
Nobody sees him. He gets away with the.
stab.
There's a kill and needs to open the shelter, and he has the disguise down here. Loud SMGs on the elite soldiers.
We see if we got any IO staff in the team flipping the switch to make sure we get another map here.
And that
This is always online, so they for sure just have a button that does these sort of things.
For sure.
And he's just gonna get the kill and exit before anyone has a chance to react.
Yep.
and
nice.
that's the finish.
That is Yannini done.
Oh, getting
Very
really
nice.
tense here, and we are going to map number 7, which is, unless it's a tie, the decider of the tournament.
It's
Wow, I threw that
gonna
away.
be Frote's
Unbelievable.
pick here, but I'm not sure what maps are even left that you would
I
maybe have,
really threw that away.
you know, as
Just
much
because
more
I forgot to
comfort
drag
compared
that
to
one
Yannini
body
as
inside
on
because
Santa
of Penelope's
Fortuna.
god. Can't believe I threw that.
Well, a really good
And
question, because
yeah,
Yannini is
but
also really good at the Season 1 maps, but maybe the maps that Frote's the best at is the early Season 1 maps, like Paris, Sapienza, probably Bangkok even. Hokkaido is banned, and I think Bangkok was also banned, so we won't see that one.
What a giveaway.
Yes,
Paris or
thank you.
Sapienza wouldn't surprise me.
Again.
Yeah.
Again, what a giveaway. Unbelievable, man.
Yannini didn't know, but yes, you did. You just didn't listen to the conversation that we talked about.
You did, you just didn't. Yes.
I mean, there are just so many things to think about.
True.
And if it changes for Hitman 3 and you have played Roulette for a year in Hitman 2, then it just will take a while to get used to, and just hope that it's going to be patched out or fixed with each patch. But I don't think the Roulette players are on the iOS mind.
What are the bans?
So
Hokkaido, Chongqing, Mumbai, and Bangkok.
Yep, those are the 4 original bands, and we had Whistleton Creek, Santa Fortuna, Marrakesh, Mendoza, Haven Island, and now Colorado.
Yes.
What will be Frote's third and last pick of the day?
And Coates just announced his second AFA comp.
Nice, nice. That's really a one to look out for if you like 2016 and those mechanics.
Yeah. Bangkok is bad. Bangkok is different. To put it like that.
Yeah, I would say it's just the fact that it's sort of a yikes map, and I think Frote is pretty comfortable with almost every spin on Bangkok.
Yeah. Personally, I like Bangkok, but I understand why people don't, because of the limited ways up to Jordan.
Yeah, Ken is a weird one to isolate.
Yeah, that is also true.
I think it's an alright map for Roulette once you know your way around and know how to dodge the cameras and what timing to look out for.
Ken Borgen. Paris. It'll be Paris. Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think there's even any map left that could possibly be a tie with these two players.
It would be surprising.
There's really nothing on Paris that could take long enough for there to be a potential for a tie. So I'm thinking this is going to be our last map here.
Yeah,
if there's a tie on Paris with Frote as a player, I don't know.
So if it's a tie with them, then I think I will just share the prize pool with you and Ducker, Chris. Since clearly you are the better players if they can't finish Paris.
I support that.
I think it's safe to say that whoever finishes this Paris spin first, which arrives in 6.5 minutes, will win the tournament.
Yep.
Chris suggests that both players sit AFK for decider. Also a good one. I just have to mute myself and you talk for 30 minutes.
I mean, I feel like this, regardless of if a decider magically appears, the stakes are pretty much the same here.
Yeah, must win.
The only difference is obviously that you can't tie in a decider, but this is a short map, and on any other short map, I feel like there's not really much of a chance of tying.
Yeah, if we avoided a tie in Santa Fortuna and Haven, then we will never see the 50-minute mark in Paris.
I mean, there's some maps where you've got like 2 attempts in that 30-minute window, but even with the worst Paris spins, you've got like 5-6 attempts.
Yeah,
With like I don't know, major consumed poison or something.
yeah, actually that might be the longest one for Victor.
I'm low-key hoping that both Frote and Yannini just sit there waiting for half an hour just so we get the decider.
I think he drinks at like almost exactly 6 minutes or something.
Yeah, I was going to say 5.5, but it's just so difficult because he has some weird proxy triggers, like some discussions or telephone calls he always makes, and just weird.
Well, we will see. Just over 4 minutes, 4:20.
Ooh.
Falling object is legal, and
Yes.
I don't think much is banned in Paris. Let's just scroll up. Fire is a banned method.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Fire is really only realistic with a weapon lure. I guess you can kind of get Victor, but that just takes way too long. But yeah, falling object for Victor, I guess, is the easiest because it's not really cycle dependent at all. But Dolly, is just usually some waiting if you can't get it in the right time.
So if it's suit, then of course you can seeker him. If it's disguise, then you're probably gonna start tech crew and isolate him or KO him as soon as possible, and there's a chandelier in that room, so falling object is not an issue.
If your timing works out, you can really just get Dahlia to come downstairs in the room with the auction staff, and I think there's like 2 chandeliers in there.
I mean, Dahlia is easy to get upstairs as well.
Yeah.
It's like 5 chandeliers she walks under, so.
Yeah, you really have to try not to kill her with a chandelier.
A fire spin for both targets here.
Sounds fire.
Somehow decided that they were going to put 1 fire barrel on the map.
It is
as far
important.
As I know, that's one. And I know in 2016 there was a challenge to kill either one or both of them with that barrel. So that was
it is important for the Vampire Magician challenge pack.
My God.
That was a great decision by them. I mean, that was literally kill everyone challenge at that point.
I miss the challenge packs, not the Vampire Magician in particular, but the rest.
I hated at least half of them.
I think the season 1 ones were bad, but in season 2 I like those at least.
I like them overall, but like, yeah.
There's kill everyone with 1 fire barrel and post it on r/HITMAN, but
no text wants to another location.
In my experience, the Paris ones and the Colorado ones were just awful. I hated them so much.
Oh yeah, the Scarecrow, definitely not a good one.
We got about 1.5 minutes here.
And it's going to be a sprint for the title. And it's really not about the money, but I have to say that this tournament had an $80 prize pool thanks to Mo and the contractor, and $55 will be given to the winner and $25 to the runner-up.
Tell me there's no third place prize? That's the only reason I signed up for this. Are you kidding me?
I know, Mr. Semifinals, I couldn't couldn't bring it home.
I think I play roulette for fun. Are you crazy?
No one ever.
Seen some of these matches? Wait, 16th place doesn't win anything?
You won some valuable experience.
You're saying I don't win anything by watching like 2 matches? Damn.
He's got about 20 seconds here. I think it's Infrafon's turn.
I will run it down, alright. And if it's a decider, then I think you can do it at the same time.
Yes.
Infrafon gets to read the spin.
Well then, for the title. In Paris, Viktor Novikov, kitchen knife as palace staff, Dalia Margolis, scissors as tech crew. I think we'll have the winner in a couple of minutes.
Yeah, this is going to be which one of them can swap items in their inventory faster, I think.
Palace stuff and tech crew are like the easiest disguises ever. So
and they are both
Curry
in.
Curry says he doesn't get paid for rigging the spin. No, that's actually, you get paid by Frote for that. It's just a little different. That's how that works.
Major difference that Frote shoots the camera with a white Trinity and Yannini with a Kruger. But I think we'll see the same isolation.
Yannini totally trying to leg shot that guard through the wall.
You'll be surprised when it works after the May 10th update.
Yeah.
Somehow Frote is allowed to subdue that guy without crouching and not getting spotted. I was not, but...
Yanni just KOs him out in the open and drags him to this room, which is a tiny bit more drag, but...
whatever.
They will both end up waiting for Dali anyways.
Yeah.
Unless you want to get a disguise in the meantime.
Once there is a free palace staff, so we should have plenty of time. I know Frote did trigger the lure earlier though, or it looks like maybe he's just going for the scissors.
Yeah, he's a couple seconds ahead and he doesn't go for a disguise, just the kill item to get Dahlia ACP.
The Dahlia timing is tighter than you would think it is with her having to come all the way downstairs.
But why?
And it looks like Dahlia is in the room. There is no Sophis in sight.
And that's like the kill down for Frote. Yanni misses the lock on, but now he gets it. One target down for both.
Yep.
And it's, I mean, I haven't been able to find a consistent saying that triggers Sophis to come to Dahlia, so hopefully we don't see either player get trolled here.
Yeah, I don't have much Paris information, but to me it's also random. Like in some cases, Sophos will already be there. Some cases they will have the time until 5-6 minutes.
You can...
Yeah.
I just hope it won't rip one of them but not the other, because that would be a really cruel way to lose the tournament. And that's the restart for Frote.
Oh wow, okay.
So Frote might lose. Assuming no rip from Yannini, Frote just might have lost to RNG there, but... Or at least something that can't be made consistent.
I would also say it's just RNG, but maybe we as a community will find a reason for this one. But...
I mean, I know you can prevent him from coming in the room at all by dragging her into the corner. Or obviously he could have hidden her body, but I don't think there's any way to prevent Sophis from doing it. Yeah, that's who it was. Nobody else comes in there.
Yeah, it had to be Sophis, and I guess it's understandable they didn't want to spend the valuable 10-20 seconds to drag Dahlia to the door, but that might be the only safe option.
Yeah. All Yannini really has to do is get in here without getting spotted, get the kill, and go back the same way he came for the catacombs exit, so he doesn't have to worry about a disguise.
Yeah.
Watch the tech crew.
I am kind of surprised that nobody got the kitchen knife from the floor, the second floor. But
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
another
there's-
one there.
Where the two auction staff outside that room are, but yeah,
Yeah.
that's just gonna be a win for Yannini there, and although Frote could have done something to prevent that body found, I mean, Yannini did the same kill there, so
Yeah,
I'm the
that's what
master
makes
at
it.
giving things away, yo. Like way ahead on like all the maps that I lost, and then just dumb mistakes. GG's to Yannini though. I mean, undeserved, but GG's. I'm gonna finish this.
Frote is apparently the
Just because
master
I'm
of giving
forgetting
away
these
stuff,
tiny little details about bodies found. Like,
according
all the
to
maps I
himself.
lost, like literally just giving it away.
Yeah, this
I'm
this
so
body
good at
found
giving it
is it's just like we don't know the
Unbelievable.
explanation for this one. I don't think so.
No.
No one
Literally
does.
the most undeserved loss ever. Giving 4 maps away.
Well, you
all
see,
of the one.
something happened and IOI is bad at coding.
yeah, Sophis isn't a guard, so I would honestly be surprised if there's anything consistent about how his AI works.
Unbelievable, man.
So that's a pretty, I don't know, I would say that's a pretty unfortunate way to have to end the tournament, but that's going to be an 8-6 win for Yannini.
Yeah, it did win 7 maps and as close as
So
possible.
much faster on all these maps and still giving it away.
But this body found is basically what changed it. But so well played by both of them, and most of the maps had little to no restarts, and it was just a really nice afternoon here of Roulette.
Look how much faster I
For
would've been, and
sure.
that goes for all the maps.
That's going to be it for Roulette Raceway at least, but we do have
Targets are down.
incentives for RR5 starting tomorrow. Is that right?
Yeah,
That's
sounds
right.
correct.
With a really nice timing that it
Unbelievable, yo.
it begins tomorrow. I think I got the champion to join, and yeah, he can't type because he's too happy. But yeah, he can join the chat now.
Unbelievable. Giving 4 maps away. So
Hey guys.
Welcome and
Welcome.
congratulations.
Well, Yannini,
So
congratulations.
Hello,
Congrats.
thank you guys. Yeah, that was quite a tough match, and yeah, very relieved it went the way I wanted it to go.
You wanted it to go 8-6.
I mean, no, but not necessarily. I mean, the close match is always great for the viewers. I mean, I wanted to win. I want to say with that, but it's even better if it's close for makes for maintain value. But yeah, was nice. Like I don't think I played the best roulette, but especially on some maps, but it was enough. So I'm quite happy.
Oh, I don't know if the news went through the chat, but basically the difference in this last map was that Safas found Daria's body for Frote, but not for you, and you did really similar stuff. So I would dare to say the same stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. It's like Paris is not that long, so but especially on this spin. Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea what incentives the guy to go for it or not, but yeah.
Yeah, no one does really.
No idea.
It's so crazy. But yes, it's just such a nice back and forth. For the first 6 maps, I couldn't even.
Yeah, we definitely had plenty of interesting moments for both players outside of Paris.
yeah, how did it? So it started with Whittleton, yeah, which he won, and then he. I cannot even remember the maps anymore, but
Yeah, me neither. Me neither. It's too much.
Let's see.
We had
Whittleton, Santa Fortuna, Marrakesh, Mendoza, Haven, and Colorado.
Right, Santa
in
Fortuna, I was
that
very
order.
surprised that I actually won that.
Fortuna,
But
you both got the last kill at the exact same time.
oh wow, that must have been very close, yeah. I mean, Santa Fortuna, like, I have no idea of this map. I do think it's my worst map, and maybe not, but I do think it's the worst designed map. I hate Santa Fortuna so much. But anyway,
yeah,
that's topic for another time.
we had some anti-Haven propaganda and now some anti-SF propaganda.
Yeah, I mean, Haven is, I don't know, I like Haven actually, but okay. Yeah, the problem is, like, the spin was pretty easy, and I was happy to, like, on most Santa Fortuna spins, I have to think really much what to do, and then still have to improvise while doing it, because I have just no idea what to do. I was happy that I could, like, immediately see what to do for the first 2 kills. That was quite obvious to me. But then I struggled a bit to get to into the cave system, and yeah, it was a bit stupid. I later realized I could have. Nah, I don't know. I was just a struggle.
Shoot open the door, maybe. It's weird though. Yeah.
Yeah, we had that on your end, and then we had the time waste for Frote ended up being going for the wrong band member was where a lot of his loss came from.
Oh, for what one did he go?
He went for the one that's right next to the bar that's sleeping by the generator, and then found out eventually that he didn't take his disguise.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, the end of the spin was like you waiting for Jorge and him waiting for Andrea to come back to do the peekaboo and the fall and exit. And I guess like you started to prepare the shed and then you realized that you had one more seeker shot.
Yeah, so the thing is, I did realize that earlier. Okay, my thought process was just preparing the shot because I had time. And I didn't immediately want to seek him because then he would go to the other toilet, and I haven't practiced that toilet at all.
Mm-hmm.
So I have no idea, like, if I would have a coma, and, like, then I would have, yeah, I forgot to pick up my coma that I smuggled in, which was really stupid. If I had that, and I could have just gone for that. But yeah, given that I didn't have a coma, I didn't want to risk it because I haven't practiced it and didn't know what would happen. And if I could do it or not, I think I could have gone for it, but whatever. So I wanted to go safe and that he goes to the other toilet and wait until he gets out of his little flower shed, the other shed thingy again, and then seek him to know that he goes to the other toilet, and because there I know what that is completely free. And I wasn't sure with the other one, so I waited a bit and prepared the shed in the meantime.
You just wanted to be useful for those couple minutes.
Exactly.
Just off topic for the thing, but saying something about chat. The ghost mode mod that people are talking about is linked to in the tech help channel in Frote's server.
Yeah, would be fun to say Oates straight out. So sure, and others as well, of course. Yeah, and then you fell a bit behind with Marrakesh, Klaus isolation, and Mendoza agency pickup or loadout issues.
I mean, Marrakesh was kind of stupid. I should have just restart. I mean, the problem was that I missed I messed up the first clause thing. In fact, we started. I think Frote was done anyway, like first try, so it wouldn't have helped. But yeah, it was my mistake. Marrakesh, like restarted Marrakesh, or like whatever I did there shouldn't happen. But I liked the improv. So I didn't want to reset. I was going to improvise. Yeah.
We were both trying to sort of figure out what we would even do with Klaus at the same time that you were there. So it was a group experience for all of us on timing.
And I guess
again, please. I didn't get it.
Well, when you missed that first Klaus cycle and you were trying to figure out how to get him in the side conference, and we were sort of trying to do that at the same time because none of us really had any idea either.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, so we all improvised together. I like it.
Exactly.
What I learned is that it's better to restart because it's 2.5 minutes and not wait the 4. But that's just me.
Yeah. Okay. What was the next map?
And then you picked Haven while still behind.
Oh yeah, Haven. Haven. I mean, I don't know. Wait, I picked Haven there. It was Mendoza first, no?
Oh, sorry, if you want to talk about Mendoza, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't think there's much to talk about Mendoza. Like that Mendoza spin, I think it would have been close, but I think it would have been a bit fast maybe, because I think the last throw took like 7-8 minutes. But whatever. Like it's not useful to speculate about what would be if. But like, for anyone that doesn't know yet, I wrote it in chat immediately because I felt so immensely stupid that like my nerves were so high, and then I was coming out of the mansion, and it was like 2:30, and it's like, okay, oh fuck, I picked no seeker. How do I isolate? I can't isolate Tamara, right? Restart. But she was already lying in the bushes, so I felt, and then I realized after the second restart, and I felt so immensely stupid. But yeah, and so I think I could have just gone through it and maybe won that map, but you never know.
Yeah,
Frote had a lot of work in there. He secured the head of security, so couldn't really get him there. And then we thought at the end he was going to forget to delete the evidence and exit. So
yeah, he took some very weird routing.
Okay, scary moment. Okay, then Haven, right? Yeah, Haven. I don't know.
Even the pick surprised me because no one picked Haven other than Ducker once, and Frote took it with a solid first try. But you said that you like Haven, so
yeah, I do like Haven. I mean, I was really a big Haven I didn't really play Haven much before I practiced it for Roulette, right? Because I don't know, I didn't like the targets really much. I didn't like the layout that much. But I do, after playing it a bit more for Roulette, I do think it's a good map at least. And of course there are some issues on the map, but I still think it's playable, and I still think it's good. So I went for it. Problem is, I didn't practice Tyson enough. I mean, the other two are very easy. They are kind of free, but I didn't practice Tyson enough, so I didn't know what to do. I thought, yeah, I forgot that the gas suit guy didn't have clearance on the upper floor, which is kind of stupid. And then I fucked the peekaboo up and stuff like that. But yeah, if I would have practiced Tyson more, then that could have gone better.
The best thing you could say about Haven is that Haven is playable. That's what I remember now. Nice compliment. And then you had to pick for your tournament life, and it was Colorado, which I'm not surprised, but it was... As for the map pick, of course, because both of them are really good at it. One of your strongest maps. But it wasn't smooth for either of you.
That's true, yes. I mean, if we don't look at that, like I had one thing like a 30-second restart because I forgot that I don't have a Krugermeyer. But if you let's also aside, like it was just that I was nearly finished, and then I mean I heard people talk about issues with the tornado shelter, and I mean I also experienced it when in last time I played, like the other time I played Roulette in Colorado, yet in Hitman 3, it's the only other time where apparently I could shoot a loud gun, but like explosives got hurt. So I thought, because of that experience, I just thought that loud guns would be okay. But of course, that's not a big enough sample size to, and now I know that I have to be more careful with loud guns and tornado shelter. But that's good to know, you know, you learn from stuff like that. And yeah, of course, I could have been done right there then. But yeah, last try in Colorado, like the second try, then that worked really well though. I'm happy with that.
Well, T-Nord bets his life on it that from behind the desk, the loud weapons work, but the loud explosions will never work in Hitman 3 anymore. So I think just worth mentioning one more.
Okay, I'll test it out before RR5. I mean, a lot of those, like a lot of things I noticed that I wanna try and practice before RR5 or before the matches in RR5, and then then we'll see.
And yeah, that took us to Paris Frote's pick, and we talked about how close that was. But it's a really solid day from both of you.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's unfortunate for Frote. I was scared of that guy as well, honestly. But I was already like I remembered that guy 10 seconds or 15 seconds after I left the room, and was like, oh fuck, oh shit, but I can't go back now because and drag Dahlia to the door. But whatever, right? So I just hoped it would work well. It was a bit risky, but it worked out, I guess.
Crazy day, crazy day.
Well, do we have any final words from our Roulette Raceway champion here?
For me, don't know
Maybe he
perhaps
wants
too
to-
much more to say. Sorry again.
Maybe a thank you speech. You want to shout out your parents?
Yeah.
Shout out
I mean,
Jesus.
it's like what we always do. I want to first of all thank Fan very much for hosting this tournament. That is, it was very cool, very good practice, and for our 4-5 and very much fun. And yeah, I'd like to thank everyone that participated for playing, every caster for casting. Did an awesome job, all of you. And yeah, I mean, it's just always fun to play roulette, even without much practice. And I'm looking very much forward to the RR, the official RR later on this month. It's gonna be great. Hope a lot of people sign up. It's always very fun, no matter if you are very experienced or haven't played a single roulette match yet. That's how we gain experience all.
We all started somewhere, so
Exactly.
everyone should definitely try it at least once and then twice.
Hyped to get third place for the third time.
Sounds like a good goal.
I'm like so gonna be knocked out immediately, but whatever.
But it's always great
As long as
fun.
it's fun.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Alright,
So,
any
yeah.
last words from my great co-casters? Thank you so much for your work today and the last 2 weeks.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Thanks,
just
Paul.
Not at the same time, maybe.
In true fashion.
thanks for just hosting it.
Yeah, no worries. It's a great one. Great pleasure.
And thanks to the viewers watching.
Yes, you viewers, all of you.
Viewers at home, PBS kids. But yeah, had fun watching, had fun playing, had fun casting, had fun adminning. It was a great tournament.
I'm glad everyone enjoyed it. Then I will leave the call and finish it off in some way, somehow. And thanks everyone for today.
Yeah, see you guys.
Yeah, all right. So this is a really great 2 weeks, and thanks everyone for watching, and the 16 players and all the casters and admins. And definitely join Roulette Rivals 5, which begins tomorrow at 10 a.m. For the joining, begins tomorrow at 10 a.m. Central European time, and I think most of you have been on the Discord now, but I will post it one more time to join. And yeah, it's going to be a really fun 3-week event starting next weekend. And yeah, thank you so much everyone for making this possible. And I cannot confirm the next tournament of some sort, but this definitely wasn't the last community event of ours. And yeah, see you guys around.